Ooh, 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 ooh. This video is going to be about loneliness. I got a video sent to me from my friend Whitney Nowicki, and I like to call her Whitney Nowicki because I don't know why. And I don't think that I'm living a life where I have to explain everything that I do, so I don't.
Hi, Mike. It's Whitney, the girl that pesters you on Twitter about baked goods. Recently, I started living on my own, boyfriend drama, and I don't know, I like being single, that's not a problem, but what kind of advice do you have for a person who's, I don't know, I guess struggling with loneliness? Because that's some hard shit. It's just hard to be by yourself all the time. And it makes you think some shit that isn't fun. Like what's the point of creating and enjoying stuff you like if there's nobody around to enjoy it with? How do you enjoy stuff on your own? And just how do you just exist? It's really dumb to say out loud, but being lonely sucks. Your girl needs some advice.
There's a lot of shit that you have to deal with in life that no one quite tells you how to deal with. And I think loneliness is one of them. And I think if you're always around a big group, like in high school, we're around everyone. And then in college, we're around everybody. And then you get an office job and there's just people around all the time. And people don't talk about loneliness. But I think I'm qualified. I'm qualified to talk about loneliness because I chose a bunch of very lonely life paths, and maybe it's being an only child or maybe it's smelling a little bit, but regardless of why, here's how. A lot of people get fucked up about loneliness and they put all the onus on having another person. And they put all the weight on, I haven't found this person. I may have already found that person and let him go. How do I know that I'm missing this person? Is this where I'm supposed to be in this life? Blah, 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 blah. And they miss out on what I would consider the greatest part of any human being's life, which is right before you meet. I'm not going to say you and speak in generalities. I used to do that all the time. There's 7 years of me on this YouTube channel. I'm here to confidently tell you why that's a horrible idea. So you need sex advice. Let's take a walk, shall we? No one likes to be alone. In a couple years, go break into her house and steal her wedding album. That's easier said than done. But so are a lot of things that are great. You know what the thing is, and this is for all the people. I was always kind of talking to myself. So I'm just going to use me as an example. The horniest part of my life that I could remember is right before I got any of the best jobs that I've ever gotten or been in any of the best relationships that I've been in. And I always just got to a point where regardless of how lonely I was or how much I felt exactly like Whitney at any given time, at some point you get so focused on whatever you're trying to accomplish or whatever you're working on that you get distracted from the whereabouts of this one other mystery person. And you're like, wow, I really got a lot going on right now. And I'm really working hard and I'm proud of everything that I'm doing and I'm just fucking busy. So I got to this point where I was like, right now, I know that I eventually want to be with someone, but I kind of don't give a shit. Because being single is kind of awesome and there's no one else I have to worry about. And I'm so but I'm so involved in making everything that I have to do as good as it could possibly be that I'm not so worried about anyone else. What I'm trying to say is I think loneliness as a whole goes away when you're 100% cool with yourself. And that's I'm not saying don't fucking be worried or just turn off your feelings or, push this shit to the back burner all the time. That's all nearly impossible to do. And you're not going to do any of that in a weekend. But you got to get to a point where you're 100% not kidding yourself okay with yourself and do whatever you got to do to get to there. Because that's the horniest point in anyone's life. Whenever I interviewed face-to-face for a job that I didn't give a fuck about, I always got it. Humble, weird flex. But that's 100% the case. If I'm I could give a shit, half a shit. As a freelancer, I would interview for jobs that were more like 9 to 5. And by the time I got to the point as a freelancer where I was like taking wedding photos and shooting videos for bands or shooting wedding videos, and I had enough of my own money coming in where I didn't need anyone else, I was like, I don't need this fucking job. And then I would go into the interview and I would nail it because I'm very likable, especially when it's a low pressure situation. And I would always get the call back. Mike, we need you. Why? Are you getting married? No, then I don't give a shit. Click, click. That's when phones used to do that.
Are you looking for some new vinyl records? Have you been missing out on the latest new pop songs? Well, you're in luck, 'cause now, open now, grand opening, is Bono Pop Vinyl. Now open, grand opening this weekend. This weekend only is a grand opening of Bono Pop Vinyl. Come on down, we got some deals and wheels. Come on down and get some new pop songs that you've been missing out on. Don't forget, Bono Pop Vinyl. Tell your friends.
That's pretty good, right?
I like, how do they possibly have room for vinyl and wheels?
Hey, man, you never know.
I'm definitely not saying just flip a switch and pretend like you don't care until something good happens, because pretending negates the whole thing. What I'm saying is do whatever you got to do in your life to be totally cool with yourself and really and truly believe that, because everything else carries less weight. And when it carries less weight, you're not worried about it to the extent that you're worried about it all the time. Is this great advice? I don't know. Every question ever has been answered by a million different people smarter than me, but you ask me for a reason because you want my opinion, and this is it.
Thank you so much again for watching Mike in the Morning. Ooh, I appreciate you being here so much. You know who else I appreciate? The sponsors of this channel. They give $5 every month, get 5 extra things, and one of those things is getting their name on screen at the end of the video. And so here's that.
I don't feel like promoting anything. That's what you're supposed to do at the end of videos. And you're supposed to say subscribe and click that bell and spin around 3 times and grab your wiener and jump off a diving board twice. Do a back handspring, flip, go into the pool with as little splash as possible. But I don't give a I'm exhausted and I have to go to the dentist. I hope you have a great day. I hope today is better than yesterday. And I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so fingers crossed.